Hey guys, it's me, Kid Rorek, and I'm doing this quick review video, and today we'll be covering the 28 Days Later Omnibus. So at the end of my junior year, which was just a week or two ago, as in my own kind of personal end of the year school gift, I decided to go for the 28 Days Later Omnibus. It collects the entire 24-issue series that Boom made in 2009, a couple of years after the 28 Weeks Later film release. It just came in a couple of, days after I ordered it, and I started reading it right away, and reading, and then, boom, it was done. And as soon as I was done, I was like, I need to make a video of this. And, well, here it is, of course. A bit of backstory for those of you who don't know what the 28 days/weeks is. It's based off, the comic series is based off the 2002 film 28 Days Later, which received mostly positive reviews. It focused on a man named Jim who wakes up 28 days later after this virus breaks out, which basically turns anybody into a rage machine in about 15 seconds. And it takes place in the UK region. Throughout the rest of the film, Jim learns to survive throughout this world he comes across other survivors and he tries to keep them safe as long as possible. And I watched this film and I really did enjoy it. And I try and watch it whenever I get a chance to sometimes. Occasionally, But we're not here to talk about the movies. We're here to talk about the Omnibus. This comic series basically is the gap between what happened in days leading up to the conclusion of weeks, which I won't give away to anybody. To anybody that was concerned about that. I'm trying to keep the spoilers out of this one, but it can be a little bit hard if you've never heard of this before at all. Like, there are some things, but just trying to give you the basics here. The story focuses on a journalist named Clint who wants to get back into London to do a story about how badly the infection damaged not only the city, but those who had to survive through it. Clint decides he has to have a guide with him, so he goes and finds one of the survivors from the first film, Days, the machete-wielding badass named Selena. Initially, she does tell him, like, piss off, man, I'm not going back there. But eventually, she thinks it over, and she realizes she has a lot of unfinished business and closure that she needs to have. So she goes with Clint and his group. And once they're in infected territory, like, once again, they have to get through this quarantine zone and a couple other obstacles. Once they're in the infected territory, nobody is taking Selena's advice seriously, like, hey, you need to watch out. The infection isn't what you think. You really have to be prepared for this. Nobody really listens to her until, like, some of the people in the group just start, like, dying instantly. Like, a lot of death happens. And then they finally start taking her seriously, and like, they have to get through all these obstacles with not only the infected that are there, but other survivors that are still living in London and the UK region, and the incoming American forces that are trying to, like, re-quarantine everything and just keep it contained. Alright, that's pretty much going to be it for the overview. I don't want to spoil anything else. I might have spoiled just maybe the first issue, but that's pretty much it. I highly recommend this for the fans of Days and Weeks, and anybody who wants just like a fresh apocalypse story. Days isn't like most apocalypse stories. It tries to have its own little thing. I mean, I think that's really nice. Anybody who likes that kind of thing, fresh take, definitely for you. If you're completely unaware, this is something you should probably avoid, but if you've at least heard of it, then might be nice for you to read into the backstory of some of the characters. My personal favorite characters in this are Selena, because she's the badass machete-wielding person. She just kills everything. And other character other than Selena, favorite character has to be Derek, because a lot of crap happens to him, but he's just like, alright, we're gonna keep getting through this. And a lot of the funniest stuff happens with this character. He's a riot. What I do really like about this, what really, like, selling points of this are, it gives Selena a lot more backstory, and it shows how the outbreak like changed her. And I like also the tie-ins that they do with like days and weeks. Like I was reading so fast through this that some of it I almost missed, but I literally went back and I'm like, wait a second, what is this? And it like has all these references, and I'm just like, oh, I know this. That's so cool. And what's really nice about that is they don't like make it completely obvious. It's more like a side thing. They don't make it the main like selling point, like, hey, you should buy this because look, we made a reference to this over here, so it's good, yeah? It's like, no, it's not like that. It's really nice. It has, once again, like in Days, it's not the infected that are the main adversary. Like, they're definitely a big part of it, but it's the other humans that are there they have to deal with. Like, some of the stories deal with just completely human-based characters. Like, that is what they're going against, and the infected are completely pushed to the side. And I really like that about this. Most of the character interactions in here make a lot of sense, and you really get to feel how the group, what the group is like, what everybody's role is, and it's just nice to really, you get to connect with the characters. And what I really also like about this is the story flow is really nice. Like, I read the majority of this in like a couple of hours, and it's a fairly big book. And just I read most of this in a couple hours, and the story was so good. I just had to keep reading. I didn't really want to put it down most of the time. What I don't like, some of the things I don't like about this, this book is heavy. Like, it is a beast. I literally was like, I was just like, this is the Bible over here, just heavy. Some really horrible things about this. Some of the characters that you meet in here, you're just like, oh yeah, they're dead. Like, you know instantly, yeah, that's dead. And some of them do literally just live to die. And it's like, oh, well, I really would have liked to get to know that character a bit more, but it's just like, nope, dead. The binding on this, it's so big. The binding on this has already started to come a bit loose. Actually, right now it's not that. Ah, never mind. There it goes. I'm literally looking at the book as I'm doing this. The binding on both sides is a bit loose, but it's nothing to really worry about. There's already there's a couple scuffs on it, but it's really not that bad. It's still in great shape. Which, I mean, it should be. I did buy it new. And, yeah, that's another thing that I like. The price of this was really nice. It was only, like, the original cover price was like $40. I bought it for about, like, $28. And considering each individual volume, like, of this, there were, like, 6 of them. It was about $10 to $12. I saved a lot. Alright, my final, that was actually more of a, I liked that. The price was nice. Back to the bad. Some moments aren't completely newcomer friendly, which is obviously forgivable. My main thing though is, how does Selena's hair stay completely on point throughout this entire thing? Like, sometimes I had to stop and ask, where did she get like the styling? Where'd she get the time to style it that way? It's like, how do you do that? It's just a little nitpick, but you know. In conclusion, it's a very, in my opinion, I think it's a very strong and well-written story. Like, this was done really well. It's not like most spin-offs where it's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna throw a character in there, give absolutely no reason why they'd go back. Like, in the end, you realize it's a really good reason why Selena went back, and I'm not gonna spoil that. It's just a really good reason. And just, it's a great story. It's very well written, very enjoyable. I never really wanted to stop reading it, and I'm definitely going to reread it again. Again, if you're a fan of Days or Weeks, I highly recommend this one. And overall, if I had to give a rating on this, it would be 4 to 4.5 out of 5, because I really loved this. I'm probably just giving it way too much because I really like Days and Weeks. Days more than weeks, in my opinion. But, you know, it's my opinion. Whatever. Alright, guys, that's going to be it. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these in the future. Tell me what you liked about this. What can I improve upon? Just whatever. Just whatever input helps to make this better, I will really appreciate. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.